What's up, everybody? Today we are going to look at the Tele Esquire that we built live the other night on the YouTubes. So I am pretty excited about this guitar because, and hey everybody who's here, I do have your comments right over here so I can see them. Let me just show you the guitar and then I'll tell you what we've got and what we're doing. And I'm pretty stoked about this, to tell you the truth. So here it is. For those of you that were not able to join us, you can go watch the replay and you can fast forward through the replay. I was trying a different camera setup and it was a little meh, but it got the job done and we were able to build a guitar in one sitting, which was pretty cool. I basically did everything but cut the nut and put strings on it. So I finished that today and here it is. A couple little tidbits about this guitar. It is the gold that you, the viewers, and everybody over on our Facebook page and all voted for. It like won out over Dakota Red by 1 vote, and I didn't even cheat the vote, so it was all you. And you know, like I didn't add my own. And I don't normally do this pre-finished stuff, but I thought it would be kind of fun because I know a lot of people may be interested in building a guitar, buying parts, putting everything together as maybe their first foray into guitar building. And I think it's really cool. So there's a list of the parts, most of the parts that we used in this build below. Some of them are variations because you can't probably get the parts that I used from the same vendor because you have to be like a, you know, make stuff and like a dealer and whatever. So I found some stuff on Amazon that was probably pretty good stuff, and some of the stuff is exactly the same. So check that out below if you're interested in trying this because it's fun. In just a few hours you can have yourself a guitar, and I think it's really cool. Another couple little, so it's got clues and tuners on it. It's got a tusk nut, a rosewood fretboard, and it's that vintage finish. I think in this week's vlog we're going to take the gloss off the neck, so watch out for that video because I know a lot of people want to know how to do that, and that's something that I'm partial to. I think it's a 10-inch radius fretboard. We were going to put a coil tap pickup in here and do a bunch of fancy wiring. I ended up just putting a flat 6 in it. One of the Dylan Talks Tone flat 6s. It sounds amazing. It's got a 4-way switch. We'll get into the tones here in a minute. 250K pots with a .033 cap, I think, is what we used on this. Yeah, it's super cool. And another little tidbit, this pick guard is the pick guard from the fence post Tele that this was like bolted to the pick guard out there. This pick guard was bolted to the house fence, the fence outside my house for months and months and months. And when we sold the house, I finally went and took the pick guard down. It was like the last part of the fence post Tele to leave. So it doesn't actually fit quite flat on there, and it's got a little rust around the screw holes, but I thought, you know, for an Esquire, I thought it'd be kind of cool. So, yeah, man, this thing is pretty cool. As far as the rig is concerned, basically you're about to hear my new Marshall Origin 20 with the master cranked all the way up, and we're using the DI out so that we can record straight to you live. So if the levels are not 100% perfect, I'm still kind of figuring it out, like learning how to use. I want to be able to use this stuff live, you know, on streams and stuff. So I think it's pretty killer. So here is what So one of the things about this setup is I don't have any reverb, so it sounds kind of boxy, which we're gonna fix that in the next week or so. And then we just crank this volume back a little bit. So let's get into the settings on this thing. So it's a 4-way switch. We're not using any drive or anything. This is just the amp cranked all the way. And I did that on purpose because I want to show you kind of a fun way to use a 4-way switch. So this is the bass circuit. So this gives you kind of that okay, so it's got this kind of fuzzy. So you hear how it kind of cuts the volume also. It's just kind of in the nature of how that circuit is made. And this particular setting is a lot of fun if you add, hopefully these levels are okay, I checked them ahead of time, if you add like a ton of drive to it. So that's really fun. That's a D&M drive with both sides on, super gnarly, kind of fun. Gives you that fuzzy kind of fuzz sound, which I really think is super fun. So let's go into the normal kind of 3 settings that I think are so cool about a 4-way switch. So this is, what's really fun about this is, and I saw the logo comment, well actually here I'll just show you. There is the logo. So Dylan Custom Guitars all get a either silver or black Dylan logo on the peg head. So here's the fun part about this is we have, I'm trying to show this to you. Okay, so here we have the normal, this is like a normal telly, right? Okay, now the next switch over, position 3, is going to be volume knob only, and the tone knob doesn't work. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our volume and roll it down to about 6. We're going to roll that down to about 6. And actually, before we do that, let's go back to our regular telly setting. We're going to roll our tone knob down. Okay, and then this all the way back position is none of the knobs are hooked up. Okay, so what's really fun about this now is in this first position we have the volume and the tone, and you get this. Okay, now when we cut the tone knob out of it, all of a sudden the volume stays the same, but it gets really bright. back to volume and tone. And then we can go full nuts. Oh, see, I go to turn it down and it doesn't do anything because the knobs don't work. So you have volume and tone, just volume, and no knobs at all. No matter what I do, there's still sound coming through. So that 4 positions on that Esquire is absolutely super fun. Really fun. So you end up with 4 super distinct tones with only 1 pickup and a really actually super versatile guitar. Really, really fun. I've been playing it on and off all day since I got it done. I was messing with this tone circuit all the way until this morning, playing with cap selection on the bass circuit, and I ended up using the same tone knob that I used on the regular tone circuit. So I think it's just 2.033s, which is really kind of funny. So this bass circuit is basically the same as this one with the tone knob all the way down. Yeah, so you're really just picking 2 different tone settings. It's kind of fun. I know that the normal Esquire circuit is a different cap than that, and they use a resistor in that as well, but I just think it's kind of fun to do it this way. Let's see. Yeah, woman tone. Let's see. Let's just make sure that I'm not missing any chats here. And then again, if we just go full beans with this thing with it's just super fun, man. I love this D&M drive, by the way. It's like my favorite overdrive pedal. So that, yeah, there you have it. I just wanted to share it with you. I think it's really cool. It's really fun. This is going to basically be kind of our experimenting Telecaster. I realized when I bought that Strat that I wanted to do a bunch of stuff with the Strat, and then I'm like, well, actually, there's some like genuinely like only Tele stuff that you can do with that you can't do with a Strat. And I didn't have one. Then I was like, well, I tell you what, maybe I'll just go buy a classic Vibe. And I think somebody in the comments was like, nah, just build another one. So that's what we did, and I'm super stoked. This is routed for a neck pickup, so I do have a bunch of other pick guards, and so we will swap some other pickups in there and do some other stuff. And I think it'll be kind of fun. Make sure there's any other questions in here. How's the clean tone? I can kind of show you the clean tone the way I have this set right now. Let me see if it'll do it. Hang on, I'm just trying to get the levels right. Weight of the guitar, hang on. So it's like my butt dyno. This one's probably heavy. This one's probably heavy for me anyway. I'm gonna say 6.5 pounds, which for me is a little heavy. I like them to be a little lighter than that. But again, this is a body I bought instead of a body that we actually, when we build guitars from scratch, I select the wood and make sure, I like to try to get my tellies right around 6 pounds. So this one's a little heavier, but it feels good. It hangs good. It's awesome. It's alder, by the way. So, you know, when you tap on it, yeah, it's alder. Anyway, yup, sounds like a telly. Isn't that funny? How everybody does nerd out about all various stuff, and then you play a telly and you're like, yeah, it's a telly. And you change a bunch of stuff and then you play it again and you're like, oh yeah, it's still a telly. Why is that? Like, and the other thing about it is, I think everybody should have one. I was about to say this earlier when I was building the Strat, you know, I was doing the Strat stuff, and then I was like, oh, I need to get another telly. And I told Leslie, she's sitting over here, she was working earlier, and I was like, you know, I am a telly person. I did not realize how much I was a telly person until I didn't have one, and then I got one again. It's just it's a weird thing, and I know there's a lot of people that aren't, but man, such a good guitar. It just makes you just want to sit around and just noodle all day long. And I don't know, super fun. This is such a fun guitar. And how are those strings? These strings are just Ernie Ball cheapies, because this guitar has had, this is the third or fourth set that I have had on this guitar since we built it on Saturday. I usually burn up a set when we're doing setup stuff, like filing the nut and all that. And then I did a video. It will come out next Tuesday. It's already over on Patreon. You know, in these videos, when I just take my wire snippers and I just cut them and they pop and go everywhere because they're under tension and everyone in the comments flips out. Well, I did a video specifically for all of you who flip out about that. It's very interesting, actually. And so that video is over on Patreon right now. And also, if you click the little YouTube join button down there, you'll also be able to see it as well. So there's some of you here that have already seen that video. But anyway, I made it just for y'all who like flip out when I cut the strings. The more tellies, the merrier. Let's see. For those of you that are asking what the features are, it's I played through them here a few minutes ago, but it's like that woman tone kind of, and then this is volume and tone, and then this is just tone, and then this is no knobs. So here's an interesting point, and I guess I'm spoiling a future video, but can you hear the difference? This is nothing else. Okay, this is just the guitar and the amp, no pedals, nothing. Can you hear, and I'll play through them, can you hear the difference between two 250K pots on 10, one 150K pot on 10, and no 250K pots at all? I'm going to play through, and you tell me if you can hear the difference. I think it's massive. Here, I'll play something a little more intelligent than that. Can you hear the difference? Just the load of one pot at a time can be heard. It's crazy, right? Super crazy. Trying to wind up the trolls. The trolls, see, that's the funny thing. The trolls were already trolls. I'm just answering their questions in videos. That's what I do. That's my job. Isn't that interesting? You can hear, now, not every pickup is going to do that. Like there's going to, you're going to have muddier pickups or whatever. You're not going to be able to tell the difference. But especially on a Tele Bridge pickup, man, can you tell the difference between 2 pots in line, 1 pot in line, and 0 pots in line without any settings. Just the resistance of the pots there. It's really cool. Yeah, definitely got brighter each time. Super cool, right? Yeah, super cool. Let's see. Listen to the warmth of that rosewood fretboard. Feels warm. Yeah, it's warm. It's not very bright. Like when you look at it, it's way darker. So that means it must sound darker too. Like, wait, so does that mean that if you play in the dark with the lights off, your guitar tone is darker? And when you play in sun, your guitar tone is brighter too? We should do a video on that. Just saying. We should do it. Because the neck told me so. Don't give everything away. People need to go watch that video, man. Get over to Patreon and watch that video. This is wonderful. I love y'all. You guys are great. Anyway. Yeah. I mean, and I don't know if you noticed, but inside guitars are warmer than outside guitars too. Carbon fiber, by the way, as a tone wood, not wood, is warmer in the sun than a wooden guitar. Just putting that out there. That when you leave a carbon fiber guitar in the sun, it gets warmer than a wooden guitar gets when you put it in the sun. It's just, I have done that experiment. It is true. You should... Somebody said we should paint it a different color and do color tone comparisons. I mean, I think I could do that. I think with this light, I can just change the color of the whole room, right? And then things will sound different, bro. Yeah. Well, anyway, I just want to share that with y'all. I hope you dig it. And I said the other day that we would make sure that we did a demo with this guitar when it got done. And since we uploaded that surprise video yesterday, we didn't have anything for today at 5 o'clock. And I thought, well, we put some stuff over on Patreon, didn't have anything for 5 o'clock today. And I was like, well, let's just go live, do a quick demo of this thing. We'll do our normal Q&A on Thursday, our vlog on Friday, and then we will see you back on Tuesday. I have a bunch of cool, funny little ideas for stuff. So, yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out, and